So Train to the End of World actually did it. It was very clear with episode 11 that they were probably going to do it, but the fact that this anime original that was on more of an LSD trip than any anime in recent memory actually managed to not only stick the landing and have you come out saying, that was well thought out, every other second visually you're looking at shit that you're saying, excuse me? And yet the insanity makes sense by the end. Around episode 2 or 3 I said this would either be the best or worst anime of the season. There's no in between. Because a show like this has so many moments to trip and fall. And the director of Moyoiga has redeemed himself. Because that show was arguably kind of just as crazy as this one. But unlike that show, it had a much more focused path. And one of the criticisms I had approaching the finale was that I thought it should have been 13 episodes. I felt like it needed 13 to really not have it feel rushed. I take back that criticism. 12 is absolutely all you need. Now here's the thing, they ended in a way where the world is back to normal, kind of. It's like, sometimes when you look at the world, you're going to say, oh, that looks like our world, but as we see from their own village, it's definitely not completely. But the fact that she's no longer the witch, she's no longer in control, their journey back home could be an interesting season 2, you know, just seeing, you know, rather than it being a rush to save your friend, it's kind of like a casual train trip back home and all the weird shit that could pop up, and they could still end up with some spicy moments. But I almost think like leaving it here is much more effective because by having that kind of open-ended, like, you don't know exactly how weird the world could still be, but you have an idea that it's like a 50-50. Sometimes it might look fine and sometimes it might not. But the idea that theories that I was coming up with within a few episodes of this show, that I was getting called crazy, I was overstepping, I was reaching for things. And hell, theories that I didn't come up with, but I read and I said that makes total sense, also were called crazy. But the fact that everything that I was hoping and thought this show would be turned out true, and the theory that I thought was the coolest thing ever turned out to be true. I do not take credit for the crow theory. There was a person on Reddit a couple weeks back who pointed out the fact that the crow next to Yoka, when she pressed the button, turned into a person. When I was like, that just makes so much sense, I also had people saying, nah, that's too much of a stretch. Nope. It was confirmed. And this just felt like, this is going to be a cult classic. It really is. I think the people who watch it more or less are like, damn, this is something special. But if you've been with the channel long enough, you know stuff like Kyosagiga, Flip Flappers, you know, A Serial Experiments Lane. Stuff like that that is just so different than what you expect, but actually does great with characterization, theory, crafting, all that stuff. I love this type of stuff, and this was a 10 out of 10 anime of the season. I personally had shows I enjoyed watching more, but I have to reward the show that actually was so different that I can't compare it to really anything else. Full live reactions over on Patreon if you want to see my full link of thought to any of these episodes. It's over there exclusively. Now, I've seen a lot of bullshit in this show, and I don't use that as an insult. It's just, when you look at this shit, it's some bullshit. Did they really just do that? Did they really repair a train track with zombies? Sometimes, when characters were fighting in this episode, I was convinced they were dead. So Yoka pimp slaps our girl? And her neck snaps to a 90-degree angle. I thought she was dead. At one point, the crow grabs this fool, yeets him off the train. Somehow he survives and he comes back. And just the fact that the character they didn't take seriously when given the map that would have made their life easier comes in and casually crushes him and saves her life. But here's the thing. Out of every insane thing that I've seen in this show, this man had turrets, machine guns, pistols, and he couldn't hit the... He admits that he wants to kill these girls, and instead of... The girls are standing on top of the train in front of him, and instead of shooting them, he's just like... They're not even like dodging bullets, they're just kind of standing there, and somehow he misses. And if that wasn't bad enough to show how pathetic this guy was, they're right in front, and he misses. And he's like, I'ma kill you. Bitch, no you weren't. My headcanon is gonna be that he needs glasses, and that he has no depth perception. because there's no way in hell he missed all that. But what a beautiful train wreck of an ending he had, because just fantastic. But like I've been thinking for so long, she was the Witch of Ikebukuro. She was the one who pressed it, so everything was linked to her mind. When I initially said that early on, people were like, that's too crazy. Turns out that's true. Now, the button press obviously didn't work, because if the button was kind of like the core, like the 7G feeds on her, she feeds on it, it's this like hybrid of keeping everything going, she needs to be the one to press it. And my thought was, it's more than just her pressing it, like she needs to be at the mental state to be able to. So in this case, it's forgiving and moving on. And I think the apology scene worked really well, because honestly, despite it being a messy apology, it was saying all the right things and how like, no, we're not trying to drag you back, we want to support you, but I need to apologize. And once she finally snaps to and realizes, she's now in a stable state of mind that she can press it and hopefully change it back. But here's the thing. The world is a big place. She's not going to know the world top to bottom, so her pressing it and like almost deactivating it, there's no way it could have went back perfectly in my opinion. So I think having that middle ground of it, like, it's kind of back, but also it's still pretty damn weird. Broccoli trees, zombies turned into slaves, and they did. Slavery is in... The Zombie Queen had a slavery ending. Zombies turn into humans who don't know what to do other than continue to serve, and that's just hilarious to me. But I guess the world's weird enough that being treated as a queen, casually going down the street to 7-Eleven isn't probably going to bat an eye anymore, especially given what our girl's hometown currently looks like. But still, I am so happy that these 12 episodes flew by the way they did. The show was objectively fast-paced. Half of the show's run was just like boom, 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 boom. But it was written that way intentionally. But I really think they found a way to make it work, and I think it really was due to the world being so batshit wild that the snappiness of everything at face value just kind of lend itself to work out beautifully. I mean, the staff involved, whatever they decide to do next, I'm definitely interested to see. I doubt it will be anything as crazy as this, but this will definitely be one of the shows that I think is impossible to top in terms of pure weirdness and creativity. Sure, there is that Deer anime next season from, I think it's Wit Studio, and that looks funny as hell, man, but that's a different type of vibe of weirdness than something that actually was this. It's just such a good episode and finish line, and even if I question how the hell zombies can make a bridge or how the hell did that girl's neck not snap, I don't think I would have changed anything. I thought it needed 13 episodes, and I was wrong, and I don't have a problem admitting that. Let me know what you thought down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and of course ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alrighty, so today we got Wade Smith, Versula Granada, Gabby G, and we also have Attack Owl. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.